I heard that you and your husband both work jobs, right, Tina? Good evening, Lori. We do both work at the same time, but what does that have to do with you? I feel so sorry for you guys. That must mean that one or both of you doesn't bring in enough income for your family, right? What are you talking about right now? I'm not wrong, am I? If your husband was able to work a job that allowed him to support both you and him, he wouldn't be asking for you to work as well, right? So if he's not able to bring in that kind of money, does this mean that your husband is at the lowest position in the company he works for? I should have known that you'd start to be rude to me again today. I'm sorry, Lori, but this time your hopes of my husband being garbage or something like that won't be coming true. My husband is neither working in the lowest position within the company, nor is he making a salary that can't support the both of us. Is that what you think then, Tina? Because I'm not sure you're 100% aware of everything going on with him. I think I am aware, considering I'm his wife. But one thing that I'm not aware of is just how much he's making. What? In other words, your husband is not willing to tell you the amount he's making? Are you sure that he's not trying to hide something very important from you there? I don't have a good feeling about any of that. The way he's hiding the amount he makes from you, it tells me that he's not making enough money right now. Well, he and I have a way of living our lives that's probably different from yours, so please don't feel obligated to say anything else about it. And know that he's not trying to hide anything from me. And another thing, the reason I'm working a job is because I like the company I work for and want to continue being a part of them. And if something were to happen in our lives that needed one of us to stop working, I feel we'd both continue to be financially safe. What are you going on about? I know that it must be so difficult for you two to live as moneyless lowlives. Can you please stop acting as though he and I are without money right now? So you guys aren't going to be having a wedding because of your tight pockets right now? What? We still plan to have our wedding. You should have already gotten the invitation in the mail about our wedding coming up soon, right? Oh, that was meant to be a serious invitation? I thought that you and your husband were just trying to play around with us. What do you mean by that, Lori? Well, the fact that you're both moneyless, yet are planning to have a wedding at the wedding hall as gorgeous as that is just a dead giveaway that you're joking about the wedding. Do you think you'll have the money to afford a place like that? That invitation was not sent out to everyone as some sort of prank. And as for getting a reservation at a place like that for the wedding, we happened to get some help from one of my husband's friends from his work. He was able to get us a spot at a place as beautiful as that, so both my husband and I are really looking forward to our special day. Well, it would be just wonderful if you guys could end up actually giving that wedding. It would be just fantastic to see two moneyless losers become happy at a wedding like that. Could you please start lightening up on the amount of insults you throw at us? Now, thank you for texting me today. I have work to get back to, so I'll be going.
Are you actually planning on having this wedding?
What? Now even you're going to start talking to me about my wedding?
Well, if you're hoping to get any money or gifts from us, then you should stop all of that. Hearing about some moneyless lowlives like you guys throwing a wedding is crazy. Not even I am able to imagine what one would have to do to borrow enough money for a place like that.
Hold on, Wyatt. Why are you saying rude things like that now? This to me looks like a textbook case of your wife brainwashing you, but she really did a number on you making you talk that way about me and my husband. I do remember you and Lori never coming to meet my husband before we were married, but still.
Well, from what I can see, whatever money you do have left is going to be wasted on that wedding if you go through with it. Well,
why are you saying that? Even my husband said that he really wants to talk with you.
I don't have the time or want to talk with someone like him about anything. I already know for a fact that man of yours is good for nothing, just based off the fact that he's making you work a job as well instead of being his housewife. I feel as though your marriage isn't going to make it very far, so there's no point in me wasting time getting to know him. When a man has little money, their chances of being divorced go way up. So I'm betting that'll be coming really soon for him.
You're being a jerk right now, Wyatt. It's fine with you giving small jabs at us here and there because you're my brother, but recently you've really been taking it too far. Ever since you ended up marrying that Lori chick, you've changed for the worst. For now, can you at least try and hide that ugly face of yours until after we have our wedding? Because if you come to the wedding acting like that, you'll regret it more than you'll find it acceptable. Today's the day of your wedding, right, Tina? But unfortunately for you, my husband and I do not have the time to be coming to a wedding for two measly lowlives right now. What? I know it's only a few minutes before the start of your wedding, but we're canceling. What are you going on about now, Lori? I'm talking about how my husband and I will both be taking the day off from your wedding. We feel that being there to give you guys money or a gift would be a huge waste of our own time and money. What? So you want to tell me that right now of all times? I know that you're having a great time telling me that right before the start of my special day, but you're going to regret not showing up today. Well, both Wyatt and I do not want to attend the wedding of a couple of losers. I know it's only a few minutes out, but he and I are canceling. Then you're no longer allowed inside the wedding hall anymore. I was never planning on coming. And when I say you're no longer allowed in, I mean that very personally. Even if you do come out here and try getting in through the doors, we'll have them locked. Just as you've said yourself, there is no need for a couple like you to be here at a loser's wedding to give them any gifts or money. So don't worry about the late notice. Goodbye. What the heck, Tina? Is your wedding already started now? What is it that you want from me now? The wedding is already starting, so please don't waste any more of my time. Right now, both Wyatt and I are coming out there. We'll be at the wedding hall in a little bit here. Even if the two of you are crying your hearts out to be let into the wedding hall today, I'll make sure that you're both kept outside. Huh? Why would you do that? It hasn't even been an hour yet since I told you that I'd never be letting you into the wedding hall, and you've already forgotten that? You told me you were fine with that, and that's why you're not going to be let in now. So please, stay the hell away from here. That's not what any of this is about right now. Things have changed for the both of us. Wyatt just received a call a little bit ago from his boss. Oh, well, I was thinking about how something like that would probably happen soon. My husband is the CEO of a very well-regarded company, and a lot of other companies' leaders are at the wedding right now. And my brother's company is a partner to my husband's, and so a lot of his company's higher-ups are here right now attending the wedding. Why did you never tell either one of us something as important as that before? Normally anyone would say something like that to everyone around them. And right now, information like that is the most important thing for my husband and I to know about. Why is it that important for you two to know? Because those leaders, his bosses, are the ones that will be promoting him soon to a much better position. And all of them being at the wedding today means he'll have the perfect chance to sit down with them all and talk more about personal things, right? Well, from what I've heard, this was supposed to be the perfect occasion for both my brother and my husband to talk over different things regarding their partnership, right? What? Well, that's just too bad now. We've already told everyone that you both looked down on us, thinking we were without any money, so those talks won't be happening. You're telling me that the CEO of the company that my husband's been working with wanted to talk with him today? That means today is the only chance for Wyatt. You let us into that wedding hall right now. But I already told you it's too late now. Why is it too late? You must really not be aware of the problems you've created for yourself with the way you've treated my husband and I, huh? The CEO of the company that Wyatt's been working with this whole time is the same man you both continued to call a lowlife and moneyless for making me work a job as well while married. But at the time, I had no clue about that. That would have been the perfect time for you to tell me that he's the CEO of that company and that you both really do have money. All you have to say to me was that your husband is a CEO, and that would have ended everything I was saying. Then we never have to be asking you to let us into the wedding, and Wyatt could be discussing the next deal with your husband. You were the ones that called him a moneyless lowlife because I never wanted to be a housewife. There was never going to be a stop to what you were saying about us had I told you he's a CEO. Well, at this point, it's all impossible to change. So sorry that you lost the one and only chance to have your husband look good in front of all his superiors. Anyway, I have a wedding to get going with, so I'll talk to you another time. Wait, Tina! Even Wyatt is telling me that he had no clue that your husband is the CEO of that company. We had both never known about what your husband did for a living, and so there was no reason for us to act any other way than we had. I'm not sure what you mean by all of that, but what was your goal in talking to me the way you had been and treating my husband like he was nothing? I have no plans of letting you two into the wedding now. After all, you guys were the ones to cancel on us, right? And we had canceled before learning about what all was going to happen at the wedding today. All of that has nothing to do with the way you treated us. I have no need for family that is going to treat my husband and I like we're nothing more than bags of trash. I think I'm going to use this event as a way to finally cut ties with both you and Wyatt. I understand just how angry you are with us right now and why that is. But can you at least let my husband into the wedding hall? He's your own brother, Tina. Give him the chance to get his well-deserved promotion. I will not. What? Why not? Do you not feel bad for what you're doing to your brother right now? And I'd like to ask the same thing of him after the way he treated my husband and I. What? I want to know if he feels bad for calling his sister's husband a lowlife, and if he feels anything at all for canceling on our wedding. Honestly, he isn't even family to me anymore after what he pulled today. Did he really think it was a good idea to wait until the last moment to tell me that he was going to stay away from my wedding and call me moneyless? Well, I was the one that told you that, not him. Well, before this, I had invited the both of you out to see my husband and get to know him before we married. My husband had really wanted to meet the both of you back then. I think he knew that my brother was working with his company as partners, and he wanted to get him into a position with more responsibilities, but also more pay. But my brother gave the excuse that coming out to see my husband would be a waste of his time and money and never came. That's what my brother chose, not you. But had you told him that your husband is the CEO, then everything would be different now, right? All you needed to say was that your husband is the CEO. I didn't want my brother coming out to see my husband because of his chance of a promotion, though. I wanted him coming out to meet my husband because he's my family, and that would be the right thing to do. I knew that Wyatt would have to give up some of his time to come out and see us, but had he come, we would have told him then about how my husband's the CEO of the company he works with. But Wyatt chose to never come out and see his family, so that's that. This is all on him now, and he's responsible for not being allowed into my wedding anymore. No matter how much you both try to get yourselves let into my wedding, no matter how much your husband's promotion rides on it, you're not allowed in. You're going to act like this just because he never came out to see your husband before you married him? It's not just because of that, Lori. Before Wyatt was married to you, he was never that serious about his time and money. But now that you're his wife, he's changed into someone that's stingy and very judgmental of others based off of their income. He is always complaining about things, and it makes me miss my brother when he was single. Don't tell me that you only see my brother as your wallet, and that's why he's become so worried about money. That is not the problem at hand right now. Can't you see that the both of us have rushed all the way out here now because we see how serious the situation is now? Would you please let us in there so that we can be a part of the wedding? I'm telling you that you're both being pains in my butt. I'm no longer in the state of mind where I want to support the two of you any longer. So I'm not going to be letting either one of you into my wedding hall. What? You have to be lying, right? We are already waiting outside the main entrance to the wedding hall. There's a security guard standing at the door, and no matter how many times we tell him that Wyatt is your brother, he won't budge. Yeah, that's because I told him that's fine. The security guard is not to let either of you in. I don't think he'll be letting you anywhere near that door today. Now, I am in the middle of my wedding, so good day to you both. And, you can start thinking of me as a complete stranger now, so goodbye forever. Why did you not let either one of us into your wedding? Right now, Wyatt is pissed at me for everything and saying that I'm the only one to blame. He says that I began to talk way too much and ended up getting ourselves locked out. Well, there is that. But you could just explain to him that this also falls on his shoulders for tagging along with you and making fun of my husband and I and canceling on the wedding. Tell him that he's to blame just as much as you are because he allowed himself to be brainwashed by you. Well, either way, we're pretty much at that point now where I can say I'm cutting ties with the both of you. What? What are you talking about, Tina? I'm in a huge fight now with Wyatt because of what you did to us. You left us outside the wedding hall all day, so can you at least help me get out of this now? Huh? What makes you think you can ask me for help after all you've done? It's because of you and that wedding that my husband and I's relationship is going to fall apart. You're the only one that's able to fix things between us now after all of that. And I bet if you have your husband come as well and talk business with Wyatt, that Wyatt will begin to calm down more and start being nice to me again. Do you think you can do that for the both of us? I'm so glad that you still haven't learned anything from this and are coming to me asking for help. Makes me feel like I am better than you now. What do you mean? It's nothing. Just know that both my husband and I are finished with you both. No, what? Are you actually being serious about cutting ties with us both? Well, right now all I can see is a brother who doesn't even care enough about his little sister to come to her wedding and is viewed by all his superiors as an absolute screw-up. And my husband has already cut ties with you two, so there's really no need for me to talk with either of you anymore. Make sure to tell Wyatt that my husband is no longer willing to put in a good word for him either, so consider that promotion gone. What the hell, Tina? Are you really planning to let your own brother and I just crash like this? Do you and your husband not feel that you've gone way too far now? Wyatt has nothing to do with us anymore. He's just a stranger now. The weight that comes with making fun of my husband is very heavy. And we're going to make sure that after today, we never have to hear from or see either of you two again. And if your husband is to lose his position working with my husband's company for good, then you'll never have anything to do with us. Lose his position? Do you really think that Wyatt will be demoted over something like this? I never thought that the talks he was supposed to have at that wedding were so important. I'm sure that when his pay is cut with the demotion, you living as his housewife will no longer work anymore. And from that point on, you'll no longer think about calling other couples that work jobs at the same time lowlifes ever again, right? Poor things, you two. Now, enjoy whatever dwindling days you have left as a housewife, okay? You did a great job this time, and I hope you enjoy the life of being moneyless and depressed. And just as Tina had been explaining to Lori, her husband gave Wyatt's bosses a bad word about him, and he lost his position making deals with Tina's husband's company. Following that, he was then demoted to working the front desk of the office building and would be given a major pay cut with that. Because of that, he was no longer bringing in enough money for himself and Lori, which led to her then having to find a job as well. This then led to their relationship becoming increasingly strained as they spent day after day fighting one another. I'm sure that soon those two will begin to consider getting a divorce, but if that is to happen, Wyatt will be left with no wife, no sister, and a rather sad job. And as for Lori, well, I'm not really sure if she'll be left with much either, but that's totally okay.